still Gods of War versus trying to take over the world. Thank you very much.
Also, I've got 4 prick sticks.
That's a lot for a stick.
It's alright.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you'll have to stream your thing in Discord.
Okay, let's go.
Are we live?
We're live now.
Oh, brilliant.
Play the tunes.
Stuart, before we start, could you just introduce the teams very
Of
quickly?
course we can, no problem at all. Let me just get this set up. Okay, so we've got so we're playing 2v2 Pangea Tourney. It's still round 1, so I believe this is one of the last games in round 1. It's match 5, okay. We're playing Whatever versus, check this out, fantastic team name, 2 boys, 1 cup.
It's two very contrasting team names there. So
I think we've got
you go.
K1 and Amesy and Whatever.
Mhm.
And then with 2 boys, 1 cup, we have, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we've got I'm Alpha Dog and Conservian Dave.
That's the one. And these teams are quite interesting because the Whatever team, you've got K1, who's a 1700 rated player, so he's definitely one of the highest rated players in the tournament at the moment, if not the highest. And then Eamsy, who is I think about an 8.
Bit of an underdog in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm not trying to use harsh language here, Stuart. Okay. And then on the other side, we've got Alpha Dog and Conserve Dave, who are both about 1200, 1300 players. So
Yep.
it's my initial instinct is to say that actually Alpha and Dave are kind of tournament favorites because they've got that nice balance of elos. They're both good, decent players.
We've got some contrasting opinions here then for this stream, so I like it. Okay, so because I have K1 and Amesy as a favourite for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Very strong team. I don't know if you know, but they've been practicing a hell of a lot as well. A crazy amount is what they've been practicing. So, it'll be interesting to see how that transpires as well. And who's picking the first map then? 'Cause it's the lowest seed picks the first map, right?
So I believe Eamsy will be picking the first map.
No, I think it's combined, Sulla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of a twist there. So Alpha Dog and Conservan will be picking the first map. So let's have a little...
I think that makes more sense because I think the reason they would have picked Gold Rush is so that they can basically gang up on K1. So it's not like a closed map and K1 will have all his defenses set up. Another thing about Gold Rush is that your wood lines are really, really far apart, which makes walling early quite difficult. So I think that's a clever move by I can't even say their team name, so I'm not going to say it, but Dave and Alpha Dog. But let's see how it goes, because when K1 gets going, he's tough to beat.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it going. Right, we'll load this up then. So we can see the teams they've picked straight away as well. So what's your thoughts on that, Sulla? K1 Franks, Alpha Dog Mayans, Amesy, Byzantines, and good old Dave as
So I think everyone has chosen their strongest civs. Stuart, have you loaded the game in yet? I actually can't see anything.
Not yet, no. I mean, I think all you can see at the moment is the lobby, right? The replay lobby.
Yeah.
So ready for
That's
me to
fine,
load the game.
I was
No,
just
that's
making
cool.
sure.
That's cool.
No, so K1 has gone for his strongest civ, Franks. Obviously, they've got an insane boom, insane early game, and obviously they're going to get their really big numbers of knights up early. So if he can snowball in early castle age, then he can definitely carry this game for the team. However, Dave and Alpha have gone for two really strong civs, so you've got Franks and Mayans. My only small criticism here would have been if I think Dave should be, as the Cav player, should be playing a Camel Civ in every single game, because that's a direct counter to whatever K1's going to be playing.
Yeah.
Eamsy has gone for a defensive Civ, which I think is a good idea. It's going to allow him to have a bit more time and maybe save some villages.
To get the eco up, yep.
Exactly. And he's also going to get cheap spearmen, which is a good idea, because Dave, if he doesn't get any damage on K1, is going to be heading straight to his base. So having those cheap spearmen is really going to help him.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right, and before we get going then, so Sulla, do you just want to introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Sulla, or Sulla did nothing wrong. I'm about 1400, 1500 player, so I'm definitely not an expert, but hopefully I can provide some decent analysis of the game. And yeah, thanks for having me, Stuart.
No problem at all. Thanks for jumping on. And myself then, for those that don't know, so I'm considered a low elo player, 651. Although I'd like to think I'm, getting there slowly.
I think the correct term is low elo legend.
Low elo legend, thank you, Sulla. Thank you. But it should be nice having this cast then. So low elo, high elo. We've got looking at it from both sides of the coin here, which is cool. But look, let's not waste any more time. Let's crack straight on. Should we do it with CA?
Yeah, I think CA is always good.
Yeah, cool. Now I am still new and learning on the ropes here. So anyone in chat, feel free to help out. But I'm not sure how to change the team names and stuff with the spectate with CA. So we'll go with who it is. We'll keep you all updated with the team names so you know who they are. Just to confirm, K1 and Aimsy is whatever, and Alpha Dog and Conserve and Dave as good old 2 boys 1 cup. Let's go.
Excuse me.
Okay, game pause straight away.
Whoa. All right.
Let's see what we've got going on. Okay, so we are going to... Okay, we can't do it with spectate with CA unfortunately, so I'm going to apologise about that now. Spectate with CA is actually on my other screen, so I can't actually pull it up. I should have sorted that in settings, but anyway, let's get cracking then. So, Sulla, can you see my screen all right?
I can. It's all good.
Cool, good stuff. So we're starting off with K1 here.
Ready. So, I just want to talk about the map very quickly. So essentially the emphasis of this map is that you start very little gold in your base. 99% of the gold is in the middle of the map. So if you get an early castle or an early TC in the middle of the map fairly early on, you're going to have a huge advantage, because not only are you going to have almost an infinite supply of gold for the rest of the game, but also you're going to prevent the other team from getting in there. Which is really, really important, especially for the cavalry player that is more gold intensive. Pause again. One thing you got to know though, before you just send random vills into the middle, is that the middle is full of wolves or lions or whatever they might be. So you definitely need to send a few villagers or maybe even some military to protect them. The last thing about this map that I mentioned previously is that wood lines can be kind of rubbish, and therefore walling at home can be quite difficult. So you might
quite
have
all over the place, aren't they, in terms of the wood lines on this map? Like you say, they're sort of bunched together. There's no sort of set, solid place that you can sort of cozy up to.
And if you look, for example, in Red Space, which is Alpha's, if you look at the top side of his base near where the hills start, I mean, walling all of that is going to be really, really difficult. So what I would recommend is you do some really small walls, just protecting your wood line and your berries and your gold, or you just make a very compact base. But we'll see what they go for. But it looks like a pretty standard start from everyone. I don't think anyone's going to be doing some crazy Dark Age tactics or anything like this. It just looks pretty standard.
We're going to see him lose a will to the ball. It's quite usual.
Whoa! So, Alpha is actually pushing his deer quite early. I'm not sure if he's going to go for more than one. So, I'm surprised because I thought he would be going.
Start that then, Sulla?
Well, it's not that he shouldn't do it at all. I'm just surprised that he isn't going and scouting K1's base first, because my feeling is that Alpha and Dave should be targeting K1 as soon as they possibly can, and getting a good kind of analysis of what his base looks like is really, really important. So yes, pushing the deer makes your eco a lot better, but is it worth the trade-off? We'll have to see. Could you just go to Alpha's perspective and see how much of K1's base he actually sees? If you just turn on Fog of War at the bottom left. Yeah, correct. That's alright, no worries. So yeah, there you can see he basically hasn't scouted anything other than just the sort of surrounding area of his base. Yeah. Which I wouldn't recommend in this matchup, because he needs to
know what he's on straight away, right?
Exactly, yeah. But he will have a very good eco, which means he'll be able to afford a few more spearmen to defend against K1. So it's not all bad.
Look at the efficiency of the lumber camp there. You've got to love the position of that, right? Very right in the middle of it. You can get villages all the way around. Nice and efficient work in there. It's what you'd expect from a high elo player like K1, right?
You love to see it. So if we just go to K1's perspective, I suspect because his score is a bit lower, he is probably on the way to feudal. Yes, he is.
Already up, yeah, that's right, 40%.
So he's going to be up. I wonder if Alpha has clicked up yet. Could you check?
I promise I will sort the CA out with this screen, or we just do it on the big screen. I just had a nightmare this morning setting it up because of the resolution on the curved monitor was throwing out the width.
They don't make it easy, do they?
They don't, no. It's always a challenge, but it's the joys of life, right?
Yeah. So K1's about 20 seconds quicker to feudal, which isn't huge. It will definitely give Alpha enough time to get 1 or 2 spearmen out, but he's got to really make sure he does it, because if K1 gets 3 Frank Scouts, which remember have the extra HP, they're going to do a lot of damage against his villagers.
Going to stable straight away, which is what you'd expect as Franks, right?
Yep.
Are we going to assume that was his second lumber camp or first lumber camp?
So I believe his first one was the one that we were saying was very efficient at the top, and then he's done the second one. I think he's done that one to be a bit safer, even though the wood line below is probably a bit more efficient. But it's not all about efficiency, as we'll probably find out. So you can see Red, he's been doing these massive walls, but look how open his base still is. Think about all the resources he's spent on all these walls, but his base is still wide open. And now you can tell that K1 is going to be going into the kill when
he's right there, right? That's
now
perspective. How much?
Yeah, K1 knows what he's doing. He's scouted out the point he knows he wants to go in. I don't.
He's got his eyes in the lumber camp there. Let's see how the dog reacts.
There you go. And still no spearman from Alpha. Nah, it looks like it's going to be a dead villager, although he will get a scout. 1 scout for a villager. It's not amazing. It's not bad.
it's not too bad of a trade, is it, right? 80 food for 40 food.
Yeah, but it affects the efficiency of your economy, that's the thing. And look, he's just picked up another one, and we still haven't got a response with the spearman.
Here comes the spearman now.
Here we go.
1 against 3 scouts.
Yeah, I don't
Nice
think...
quick wall in there.
That is, yeah, it's a nice quick wall. That's well played by Alpha. Yeah, the thing is yes, he could engage against the spearman, but he'd probably lose a scout. And the thing is, he doesn't need to. Look, he's just going to run round and distract him.
Oh, he's got to finish that bill off. Yes, he does.
Oh, that's number 4 now.
Some archers out now.
A chiquet, Tabish.
And regroup and go back in. Looks like we've got some action over here as well. I don't want to take the irons off of Amesy and conserving days too much, but it's all going on at the moment.
So, it looks like Dave is pretty much doing the equivalent to what K1 is doing to Alpha Dog now. However, my one criticism here, and nothing bad about Amesy, but Dave should be going straight to K1's base right now. K1 is sending all his military to Dog's base. He hasn't fully walled. There's no way he could have fully walled at this point. If Dave goes to his base right now, he's going to get some build picks.
Yeah, before he gets the walls down as well. Utilising the stone as part of the wall there makes sense.
Yep, for sure.
Tabish.
Look, Eamsy's doing the right thing. He's made 2 spearmen. He's got a 3rd over by his berries. Dave's going to get some damage in, but it looks like K1 is doing proportionally more damage.
I mean, it's great, isn't it? Because they're both sort of attacking each team member, and I mean, look at the scores, right? Very early game.
Very similar, yeah.
Look at the Vil count. What have we got? Okay, so K1 and Dave tied with 33 Vils each.
Easy and Alpha, the same as well. Oh, it's a nice wall by Eamsy. Can get one more down. That's okay, he's got a spin.
He needs to, doesn't he? Very well protected there. I think Dave's in a bit of trouble with his army.
Yeah.
Let's go back over here. Oh, is Alpha Dog going for the push?
So, Alpha Dog's going for the push. Could we go to his base and just see how that's looking?
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good in Alpha's base. So I think what he's trying to do is just trying to cause some damage on K1. However, K1's base is looking very walled right now. Maybe it's not on the other side, but it's going to take so long for Alpha Dog to get to the other side.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's going to be worth it.
He's already got a build there ready to wall that anyway.
Yeah, he could be walled by the time he gets over. So I don't think that attack's going to cause much damage.
Okay,
And
so
if he... Sorry, you go.
Shot it.
is Alpha Dog going for Amesy here? What's this? No, he is going round. Okay.
No, he's going all the way around.
And it looks like he maybe wants to... Okay, so he doesn't... He knows K1's here, right? And he obviously just wants to come in.
I think if you click... This is the thing, right? He still hasn't scouted his base, which is why I think it's so important that he did it in the early game. But I think it's too late now, unfortunately. And it looks like K1's still doing a lot of damage in his base.
Okay, so he knows he's going in. He's coming Dave's going to go in there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look at this. K1 has really got him against the ropes.
Absolutely. And look, he has no secure access to gold now, which is a huge problem because without the gold, obviously, he can't produce the archers. Now, what he needs at home is 4 or 5 spearmen to protect his valuable resources, but he's sent them forward with his army.
Yeah.
So unless this army gets some Vil kills, he's in big trouble.
Can he see that wood line there? I'm going to say he cannot.
Let's have a look.
No, he cannot. Although he can see the fell trees, so...
Just about, yeah. And the thing is K1's macro and micro is good enough to wall behind his walls. And look, he's sending army back already.
Okay, is this Amesy trying to now take a an attack. Let's see from Ames's point of view what they can see.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so again, hasn't been scouted.
Oh, there's a gap. I wouldn't have guessed there was a gap there. He's going to get a bit of damage here. Is Dave going to notice? Because he's probably... So I think Eamsy's going to get 2 Vil kills on Dave now, which is actually really, really valuable.
Oh, he couldn't quite get that one there.
Still, it's a lot of idle time. It's 9 or 10 villagers doing nothing.
It is all on. It is all going on this early in the game. Loving this. Dave's the first match started, age 21 minutes.
And I think K1 is going to be about 10 seconds behind.
Can't be far, can he?
No.
Cannot. 85%.
So Alpha's resecured his base. I think he's going to be a long way off castle though. He hasn't had access to gold for a lot of the game. The problem with this is when K1 hits castle and gets his knights, he's going to get the +2 armor. And Alpha Dog's archers are just not going to be doing any damage.
No.
So K1's done the right thing here. He's going to take Alpha out of the game for a long time. And he's going to have a better eco than Dave because of the damage that Eamsy did. So I think it's looking good for K1 and Eamsy at the moment.
Here come the knights, called it. But it's impressive how many archers he's got out, right?
Yeah, considering his eco is not in a good place for a long time, I agree. Now, Dave's going to get in. He's probably going to get a few Vil kills. I think he should be using his scouts to kill the Vils now. Problem is when you use scouts to fight knights, it's not going to be well.
Knights on knights.
You can see how little damage the archers are doing, and even though he's got decent numbers, they're just not really making a tangible difference. And look, all the knights from Dave are down now. K1's just going to clean this army up. And yes, Conserve Dave's got reinforcements coming in, but you've got to remember K1's reinforcements are there straight away. They're going to be fighting straight away. Dave's got to come all the way across the map.
Without matching them up, it's in trouble, right?
Absolutely. Well, I'm not sure about this though. It looks like Dave's got better numbers. I think they should have taken that fight.
Yeah, I think he heard me talk about massing them. No, this is not a live game. This is not live. I think this was played yesterday, I believe.
I believe it was yesterday, yeah. So, have Dave and K1 done additional TCs in their base? Because, like I mentioned previously, you want to be getting a TC in the middle of the map.
So Dave, we've got 2 with a 3rd gun back here. You are right, I think maybe he should have gone for a middle TC push, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the numbers in the middle.
He's got the army to do it as well, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, maybe he's just trying to get a better eco. But I think if you're looking at the long term... okay, this is not looking too good for Eamsy. I mean, that's some good... Oh, he needs another house ball. That's not enough spearmen. One more. Oh, Eamsy, no! That's just not enough spearmen. So,
K1's got flood coming over to Alpha, you see that?
Oh dear. See, this is the problem I was mentioning. He's only got flexing.
Look at the score.
Yeah, K1 score is balloons. This is the problem that Alpha's going to have for the rest of the game though. He's not in Castle, he doesn't have Podkin. The archers just don't do any damage to the knights. And he's just going to run around his base and do whatever he wants. And it's just a disaster in Alpha Dog's face right now. It's not looking good.
Pick with Alpha Dog and Conserving Dave.
I know. We'd have to ask them what the reasoning was.
Yeah.
So I suspect that Dave's doing a lot of damage in Eamsy's base right now, but without sounding disrespectful, obviously the damage that K1's doing is a lot more valuable. teams. He's doing the right thing now. He's getting the cheaper Byzantine camels, and they're going to be trading fairly well.
Alpha's up.
So Alpha is in Castle Age, but currently he's on, is that 31 villages? I can't see.
K1 is on 67 villages. Alpha Dog's 29. Amesy's 27 and 62 for Conserving. So K1 and Conserving are very equal here.
Yeah.
In terms of probably army and vills, probably what we could do with the CA, right? So we could get easier army numbers.
Indeed. So it says there 18 and Dave's got 14. So
I beg your pardon. Yeah, 20 and 15. Yeah.
20 and 15, there you go. So I think this is why K1 is shifting his focus completely onto Dave now.
Oh, it looks like he's trying to keep the middle. That does to me. And here we go. Yep, it's coming.
Yeah.
What's coming first, Sulla? Is it a castle or is it a TC?
It looks like a TC. Or no, I think it's a castle.
You think castle's flat bang in the middle?
Yeah, and actually if he puts it more towards Dave's side, it's going to be almost impossible for them to get our own TC or castle up. So
there it goes. You called it.
Yeah. Whoa.
Look at that. 9 vills on the castle on Dave's side, but the knights are spotted it. The knights are coming in. It's going to be a big clash.
I know. You're fighting downhill, and K1's got the numbers. Yeah. It's not looking good for the other team.
We've got 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2. Okay, so they're all exactly the same in terms of blacksmith upgrades. Going up. Everyone's done his job. That's a big fight.
He's just got the numbers, hasn't he? This is the thing.
He can't, and if he commits to it, he's just going to lose in the middle. Man down. You know it's GG's, right?
And this is why Franks are so good on this map. They get the cheaper castles, and as soon as you get one in the middle, you've got such a huge advantage. Wow, this is a very ballsy play from K1 under the TC. Ooh, who's going to win this? Stuart is going to win. Oh yeah, it looks like a K1. Oh dear.
He's got more than he needed to, but he needed to
Brayton? Ready? Yay?
Yeah, and it's looking very, very bad now.
I mean, Alpha's coming back, but he's too far behind with that score. Ooh, okay.
Ready.
So he's gonna have to come back now that those archers are there. But the amount of eco damage he's done is yeah, exactly.
So Dave's now down to 69, K1's 9 35, Alpha Dog now to 40. Dave's turned a little bit there, look, K1 being chased away, but oh my word, look at that. A little bit of raiding, you turn your eye for 1 minute and before you know it, you've got a castle, TC and 2 stables and a shed load of miners.
This is the thing, and Stuart was to stop K1 from just building 30 knights and just going into Alpha Dog space.
He looks exactly right, he's doing that. Ainsley's coming with a camel back up here as well. I don't think it's going to be long until... I mean, you need the middle, right? So it's what I hear all the time on these sorts of maps. If you lose the middle, you lose the game. What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. Well, this is the thing. It's so hard to push castles in Castle Age because all you really have is ramps, which, you know, any melee unit can kill them, right? And so you have to be in an Imperial. But the problem is, by the time you get to Imperial, all the gold in your base is already being used up. So if you don't have a TC middle by, at the very latest, late Castle Age, you're in huge problems. And remember, is that gold can be used as any resource, right? If you've got 60 gold now, you can just buy all your resources. So K1 is just, I'm not going to say infinite resources, but if he needs more food in a touch,
like
he
that.
can do
I
it.
mean, look how much gold he's got there.
Oh, I mean, exactly. Exactly.
Ainsley getting a TC down in the middle now.
So even now, Eamsy's got, with the castle, he's got a solid way to restart his economy. I mean, look at this. K1's just sending in groups of knights. There isn't enough army to defend against it. It's looking really, really bad.
Just drifting more and more apart now.
Oh no.
1100. Transition from that to that.
Yep.
Peaceful.
Yep.
Something about it.
But look, K1 had, yeah, K1 had an untouched eco all game. The pressure on him just there wasn't any pressure really. There was sort of a half-baked attack on his base, but it was too late. And I know they did a lot of damage to Eamsy, but I still feel that Dave's focus should have been on K1. Absolutely. I mean, that's just a beautiful economy.
Conservative was it, Alpha was it, 1-0, whatever.
Wow. That was
what a game.
Yeah, no, K1 showed why he's the Elo that he is.
Yeah. And on their map. On their map.
I know.
You know, and that's the one, right? You lose in your own picking. I mean, they're going into round 2 now on the back foot.
Absolutely, and well, you're right so far. You said one of the favourites for the tournaments, and you can see why.
Unbelievable.
I think.
Right.
Well, let's see game 2.
Let's see game 2. Yeah, we're going to take a 2-minute break, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching, thanks for hanging around. Let us know in the chat. I don't know if you're keeping an eye on the chat, Sulla. I'm not actually looking at it, which is really bad. You should. So I don't know if anyone's been chatting. So I do
Professional
apologise.
Twitch casters.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. But we will get to that in round 2. I'll make it a thing, right? So give us 2 minutes. Have a toilet break, grab a drink, and we will be right back for some more action. back in action. Right. Sulla,
What's going on, Stuart?
are you excited for the second game?
I've never been so excited in my life, Stuart. Let's go.
It's fantastic. Okay, cool. All right, viewers in the chat in Twitch, come on, let us know. I've played around with some settings. Is the voice okay? Can you hear us okay? Can you let us know? Someone give us a hell yeah. Hell yeah, it's fine. Agrippa, legend. Okay, cool. All right, we'll load the game up. When the game sounds on, let us know as well. I know a few people said that the game sound was a bit too high.
Yeah, I'm glad we're sort of learning the ropes now, and we don't get to the final and people can't hear us. Or
Yeah.
it's just practice, guys. All right, don't get too angry.
Exactly that. Yeah, that's it. And apologies, I haven't got CA set up on the other screen. I don't know why it's defaulting down to the other monitor. Unless I have to alt tab out of that. I'll try it one more time. We'll see if it works. Okay, cool. That wasn't even Agrippa that said that the sound's fine. That was Adrenaline God. I do apologise. How are you, Adrenaline? Okay. Sulla, if you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
We can get back into this. Cool.
So this will be Z and K1's choice.
That's correct. And they have picked, wait for it, Arabia.
It's very interesting.
Very open, right?
Now, I think it's because K1 doesn't like closed maps. In fact, every time we play Arena, he usually gets angry at me because I love Arena and he hates it. But
he doesn't like it.
I would think from his perspective, and he's the better player, so I'm probably wrong, but he would want some protection in the early game so he can get up to his kind of mass. But also Eamesy has the protection as well, so he can kind of contribute more in the late game, if that makes sense. But they're going for 2 open maps. So I think K1's going to try and do what he did before, take someone out really early, and it means that it's more of a, him versus the other player, and Eamesy can contribute as well. So I think the tactic's going to be the same. I think the other team needs to focus more on disrupting K1's economy early on, but we'll see how it goes. Stuart, you there?
Hey, mate.
You got it. Nice.
Oh, do you know what? The good old mistake of your mic's on mute as you're talking. Look at that. It's amateur right there, and I've got red lights in front of me as well to tell me it's on mute. That's the even funny thing. So what I was saying, Sulla, in response to what you said was, and you can see the teams, right? We can see the teams on the screen now. So you can see K1's going with poles, right? And there's a lot to be said about the poles.
I mean, the polls, they make a lot of people very angry.
Two letters, right? O and P, I hear a lot.
I personally have that opinion, yes. I mean, they're an insane civ because they can do a little bit of everything, but also they probably get one of the best, if not the best, economies in the game. But one of the strongest things they can do is when they go on stone, they get gold. They actually had to tune that down a bit. So it used to be for every 2 stone you got 1 gold. Now it's every 3 stone. So they have toned it down a little bit. But the advantage it gives you is you can have villagers on stone, which are generating you gold. And it also means that you can get TCs out and castles out quicker.
Yeah.
Because usually sending villagers to stone is really bad for your eco, right? But not with the poles. However, I think Dave has done the right thing this game and has gone for a camel civ.
You said that at the start. You said that first game, didn't you? You should have gone camels.
And yeah, and we all know that Hindustani camels are.
Oh, my favourite civ. That's my favourite civ. So that's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to doing this one. Alpha Dog, then Ethiopians, matched up with the Hindus, aren't they? So
yeah, it's going to be
archery civ, isn't it?
Yeah. So their big thing is that their archers fire 18% quicker. So they have the highest damage per second, DPS is what we call it, in the game. So that combined with the Hindustanis is going to be really, really strong.
Yeah.
The problem that Eamesy and K1 have is that they don't actually have an archer civ. So I don't know if Eamesy's just going to go archers regardless of what the civ is.
What are they then? So
they're a cavalry civ. So their big thing is for every relic they get +1 attack. So
and are they gonna counter? Sorry, be countered by the Hindustanis here? They are, aren't they?
yes, but that's assuming that K1 and Eamesy both go knights, which I think is unlikely. But if they do, then Dave's going to have a field day because those camels are going to be pretty clutch.
Let's not waste any time, Sulla. Let's get right into the action, shall we? Good stuff. Let's go. Spectate with CA. Let's see if it messes up as I load it. Oh, we've done it. Look at that. Beautiful. Fantastic. Let's go. Okay, so what have we got? We've got Conserving Dave as red, that's fine. K1 as blue, that's fine.
Hey, Stuart, as a suggestion, maybe we could speed up the first bit of Dark Age. Unfortunately, I don't have any wise bits of information for this bit of the game.
No, apart from, I suppose, what's the main focus then in early?
So you want to be looking.
On Arabia.
So you want to be looking at your wood lines and your gold, right? So looking at Dave's base right now, his gold is not the best because it's quite far forward. He's also made the mistake of putting his first wood line at the front. Generally, you want to put it at the back because then it takes enemy armies longer to get to, but also archers can't just shoot it from the front of your base, if that makes sense.
So, I mean, somewhere like here would have been an ideal spot for the...
Yeah, just at the back near where to the right of where the second bore is. That would have been perfect. But if the other army aren't going archers, then it's not too much of a problem. But we'll see how it goes. You can also see that the house he's doing near his berries he's done that so he can. He's doing some very very small walls. I think they've learned from the last game.
How do we? Therefore, I just fit the screen, but I'm not sure how on Spectate CA. That's okay. Okay, so you're going to need to remind me to slow it down when we get there. What are we doing? Waiting for the first one to go to feudal?
So he starts with an extra 150 food because of his civ. So he might actually be the first person to go up. Dave is saving food on every villager that he builds because of the Hindustanis, so you would expect him to be going to feudal with the most food. The Poles don't actually get any massive food bonuses in Dark Age unless they do all their farms around their forework. Now, obviously it's a good thing because you're getting the extra food. However, it means your farms are not near your TC, so when you get raided, it's easier to do damage because you've got to walk all the way from your forework back to the TC. So it can be quite risky to do that. I think if they've learned anything from the first game, they've got to focus on K1, right? So Stuart, have you moved from red space or not?
I'm currently on blue base.
Oh, it looks from my screen it's literally just red space. Is it because you're using capture age?
You know what? Let's get rid of catch rage, guys. Let's go straight back into the
Okay, there you go.
That is so much better. It feels better. I've got the small tree mod as well, which is much better. It cleans up the shrubbery. We get the squares. We get the radius around the TCs and stuff.
So that was
all right with that, buddy.
that was a really good start for Dave because he's just taken out a few of K1's scouts in his base. It doesn't seem like a huge deal, right? It's just 1 or 2 scouts, but it means it's going to take him longer to get to that critical mass. So that's a really good start for Dave. It looks like K1 is doing his walls pretty early. He's not just playing open. I think that's the right thing to do because he's obviously always going to be concerned that they're just gang up on him.
Yeah.
However, you've got to think all the wood that he's investing into this, he could have been doing into farms instead. But obviously, I still think it's the right play. And look, because of those scouts he lost earlier, Dave's got the numbers advantage, so he can push him away.
The tables have turned. Tables have indeed turned.
Yeah.
And for an exciting game 2 here in Pangea Tourney. We'll have a little look at the bracket after this one, shall we, guys? Because no, I think there's one more game left to be casted, so I won't share the bracket until after that one. Weston, how are you, buddy? Weston's in the chat. Everybody, the legend himself.
So we got 5 scouts to 4 here. So I think Dave should try and push him away. He's just got to make sure he doesn't take. Yeah, he's just got to make sure he doesn't take the fight on the hill. Because then the 4 scouts can win.
Little things like not leading forward with the lowest HP horse, right? You know,
yeah, it's
see people do, right? They pull the lowest HP out of the way.
Yep. Or if the opponent goes to attack one of your units and then you pull it away, so they end up chasing rather than fighting. That's another good way to prevent lots of damage from happening. This is a good fight from Dave because he's focusing on 1 scout. Yep. And then he can fight downhill potentially. He's just going to run away. I think that's the right thing.
Starting to get the numbers up now, though. More scouts on their way as well.
Yeah.
Interesting way to run around there.
But remember how much damage K1 had done at this point in the last game.
Yeah. And well in front already. And now, if you look at the scores, they're very, very close.
I think he's killed. I don't think he's killed a Vil yet. So it's looking very good for the other team at the moment.
Amesy trying to push an Alpha Dog there. Alpha Dog's armed with a load of spearmen and some archers back.
See
he's ignored Amesy's push here.
But the thing is, he knows that if he builds a couple of spearmen, he's fine. And look at that army. Look at that army, Stuart, that Alpha Dog's got. It's very scary. It's 3 spearmen, 8 archers.
He's going to be doing some damage here, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Ooh, that is looking very bad. And the thing is, there's no way Eamsy or K1 can engage that army. He's going to find his gold now. Oh, no. Oh, man. No, he's not going to miss it. There you go. And Eamsy does well to react to that.
He's already scouted it, isn't he? He already knows.
So, Alpha Dog, he's done a lot of damage. Now, is he going to make the decision to go to K1? Or is he just going to build on the momentum he's already got again?
All of our opinions, yes, he should push.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like he's doing it. It looks like he's going. I wonder if conversations have been had internally between Dave and Alpha Dog there then. No, push K1 because he's relentless with these scouts.
And I know
he's taking the back route, that's for sure.
Grayton?
So, looking at the Vil count for everyone, could you just go back to the main screen if possible?
Of course we can. So we've got K1 on 37. Oh, sorry, Alpha Dog in the lead 38, K1 37, then Dave's on 35, Amesy's now 31.
See, it's looking a lot more positive this game because I mean, Alpha had a really tough game, but now he's actually got the Vil lead.
This is it.
And like I said, you know, K1 can't deal with those spearmen.
Look at Sulla. He's got another 15 army in his base, as well as the 11 army pushing K1's woodline.
Mandatum.
And he's delaying that. In comes Dave with some scouts to help back him up. This is going to be a good push. I think they're going to get a few kills.
Absolutely. I remember, these aren't just regular archers. These are M&S archers. No, I'm just kidding. These are Ethiopian archers and
of any other brand other than Hermetica, all right?
and look, they're probably not going to get in, but he has to react to this. And look, he's going to have to do a tower, and that's going to set his eco back a little bit. He's not going to be able to do a TC straight away without collecting some stone. And K1 just can't deal with this army. I mean, there's 5 spearmen, 3 scouts, 8 archers. I mean,
is the tower going to do much?
I mean, it's going to prevent him from.
Archers, right?
Yeah, it's going to prevent him from getting onto the gold. But K1 still has to do some sort of military to prevent them from getting in.
Amesey's coming to the rescue with some scouts. Strong wall line from Amesey there around his base. I love that, Sulla. I really do. I love the house walls. Building walls.
Some very beastly house walls. Palisade walls, they're for noobs. Just do houses.
Yeah. But they're much harder to take down, right?
That's true, but you got to think how much wood you'll be spending. And if you're spending all your wood, you're not doing farms. It's going to take you longer to get up. Things like this. So it looks like K1's defended very well, but he just doesn't have the presence that he did last game. He doesn't have those 10, 15 scouts running around people's bases. You know, he is getting knights out now, and that is probably going to be enough to clean up the archers. But you got to remember, Alpha and Dave still have 5, 6, 7 spearmen running around. He can't just take the engagements like he did last time. I mean, Alpha has a massive army.
What's he doing here then? Regrouping?
I think he doesn't want to get caught out by K1's knights. He doesn't want to get caught out by K1's knights, and he knows that if he gets crossbow and bodkin, he's going to have a huge advantage. I'm not sure he should have sent his entire army home. He could have maybe just sent them to Dave's base instead. But we'll see.
Dave is now up.
And that's good rules by Dave, because it only takes a few knights to get into your base to sort of really screw up your eco. And look, the camels are coming out now. They're going to really mess up those knights. He's just got to make sure he gets 5 or 6 camels, and he's going to be fine at home. And we've seen the size of Alpha's army. The knights just are not going to cause any problems. It's looking really, really good for... Absolutely.
This is why I love the Hindustani Sulla.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. It's looking really good for the team name that I can't say.
Why? Meaning to ask you this when you first said that. Why can you not say it, Sulla?
Do you know what? I think everyone has. I think this is.
With the army of Alpha Dog there. That was very interesting.
Man,
another push again, look, but this time he's got the cross. Well, no, they're still archers, but he's just gone up, so they're not long now. He's got the pikeman upgrade already.
So the Ethiopians actually get pikemen for free. The pikeman upgrade for free.
That's why he went instantly as soon as he clicked the castle then. And so he clearly knew that as well, right?
Absolutely. And this is why the Civ is such a good choice against K1, because K1 usually plays without Civs. So the free pikeman upgrade is pretty invaluable. He's just going to go straight to K1's base. And can K1 actually do anything about this? I don't think he can.
Wow. I mean, not with Dave's camel backup. Oh, look at that. Look, we didn't see that, did we?
No.
10 camels there, already stacked up, ready to go.
And the thing is, K1's going to have to take this fight. I know he's got the castle, but it's not protecting his farming eco.
Timing, I think, oh, okay, no. So Alpha's gone back to Amesey. I thought he was going to push up here and give K1 the choice of, you know, attack the crossbowmen and let the camels raid all my vills, or try and defend it. You know, that would have been an interesting play, but maybe internally they're saying that let's go for one and the other, you know?
Stuart. It's looking for a pretty good fight for Dave right now. Those camels are just going to clean everything. And I gotta say, I don't think there's any way back to K1 right now. The TC's been denied.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, what a plot twist.
I know.
What a plot twist.
It's like the complete reversal of game one.
Whatever's map, right?
Yeah, it's strange. And the thing
here
is, when
comes Alpha Dog. Here we go.
he gets over there, I don't see how they're gonna
Do you think
defend.
it's gonna be a GG as soon as he sees it?
I think GG in the next 30 seconds, Stuart. I'd bet my house on it.
Here we go. He's gonna see it. He's probably seeing it around about now.
If you saw that coming into your base, would you be GGing?
I think with the camels at the back there as well, I would definitely be saying to my teammate, we either need to do something right now, or we're calling it GG.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, look at the score difference. What a twist in the plot, honestly. First game, it was K1 and Amesy that was dominating. And now it's just reversed.
Whoa. That's not an army you want in the back of your base.
10 camels turned to 18 camels.
And you know what? Credit where credit's due. Dave, I mean, both Dave and Alpha played great, but you've got to think Dave's on the side of K1 and he defended really, really well.
Exactly. And I mean, look, and it's not really a massive base, is it? It's proper compact together. It's...
But he knew if he survived and he didn't take massive eco damage, when Alpha got to Castle, they were going to have a better combined army. So they've played it fantastically.
So I've got to stop you there. Have you seen this?
Ready.
Have I seen what?
Oh,
I know.
18 crossbowmen in his base, along with the 25 crossbowmen. This is GG. This is GG. K1 Ainsley 1-0 up, right? Surely they should just be calling it now and saying, right, let's take it to the final.
You would think so. I don't know how they're thinking they're going to win this game, but you got to give them credit for never giving up. I got to give them that.
22 camels over here now. Is Alpha Dog sending his other army? He's not. What is he doing? I think he's just taking the mick with it now, isn't he?
I think he's just playing really safe, which is the right thing to do.
I don't know if Amesy's building an army ready to go and raid one of them or not. I mean, what have we got? What army's Amesy? Okay, yeah. We've got some knights over here. Is it enough?
No, definitely not. You got to remember they're just building the units that Dave's units counter. They need something else. But do they have? I mean, look at the state of K1's base. Does he have the actual economy to produce anything else? I know he's got the castle that's going to save him. But
no, I mean, look, 142 food. I think he's doing everything he can do. I mean, I think the only thing that he hasn't done, which maybe he should do, but I mean, look, I'm a low player, so I'm saying it, but, should he have moved out? Should he have
I think if you're moving out that early in the game, it's probably not good. Yeah.
GG's.
Well,
GG's, wow.
Wow. That's such an improvement from game one.
Wow.
Yeah, no, fair play to them.
Wow, what a match that was, especially coming out of the first map when you just thought, K1 and Amesy was so far in front at one point.
Yep.
You kind of thought to yourself, with all due respect to the two lads with the 1 cup, they must have come into this second match thinking, are we going to do it?
But also, we know Dave and Alpha are good players, right? They're definitely not bad players. They're definitely good players. And they must have learned something from that first game. I think they would have honestly have played that game and been like, okay, we didn't play that well. It's not that we played badly, it's just that the tactics were all wrong. And I think we both noticed that. But in that game, they did perfectly. They didn't suffer as much eco damage as they did in the first game. Dave's defense was excellent, and Alpha did the right thing. He just massed a lot of army, and it made sure that K1 just could not engage his army, and that was the perfect way to play it.
And he kept the pressure on, right?
Yeah. I mean, he had archers doing nothing, but it was still the right thing to do.
and like you say, it was a mistake in the first game to not put the pressure on K1. You know, and that's what they needed to do, and they did it this game, and it clearly worked. So, on to the final game of this set then.
See, this is the thing, right? Is that they now know how to play in game 3, but will the map suit their playstyle, right? Because if they get a closed map, they can't really apply that.
Oh, very true.
But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
Very true, and it's the bot, isn't it? The bot is it the
Yeah.
Wolo bot that's partnered up with Hermetica for this tournament? Is that right? Is it
I think
the Wolo bot map choice if it goes to a final round in the best of 3?
Yeah, it's a complete random map. Did you get it when you did your tournament game? We got it. I can't remember what map we got.
I don't want to, you know, make myself sound too bad, but we didn't need it, buddy. We
Oh.
went through 2-0.
Oh, okay.
We went through 2-0. Yeah. That was good. You'll have to check out the other cast for that one if you want to go and watch that game.
A shameless self-plug.
Good old Stuart Cheedle, with his legendary German team buddy. Right, let's move on. Let's do this last game, the match 3. Okay, let's just set it up. Give me 2 ticks. We will be right back. switching it all on now. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final round of well, it's round 1 of the Pangea 2v2 tourney, but it's the final round of this game between whatever and the 2 lads with 1 cup.
Mr. Stuart, I've heard this is a bit of a long one, so a little birdie told me it was a long one, so we may want to get this one started.
It's going to be a good game then, right? If it's a long one.
I have heard it's a bit of a beast game.
Love it. Let's get right in then. So just quickly, so obviously it was generated by the Wolo bot because it's the final game of the best of 3, and it's generated Hideout.
Interesting. Okay,
So what you were saying about K1 not liking the closed map, it's not fully closed, is it? Hideout.
I mean, it's closed, but Palisades, it's not hard to break them, is it?
That's it. Let's have a look at the Civ matchup then. So K1 Mongols, Aimsy as Goths, and Alpha and Dave have gone for Brits and Saracens. What's your thoughts?
So I think it's a good pick by Eamsy, because if he can get to the late game, and he can get a good kind of spam of Huskarl, he can completely negate the archers that Alpha does. So I think that's a really good pick. However, I think there's this kind of assumption that, Goths completely counter Britons because of the Huskarl. It's like, yes, if you can get to the late game and have a really good eco and have loads of production, that's true. But between the start of the game and then, you're actually in a really bad position because Britons have, the cheaper TCs, they have the better economy. So he's going to have a really hard time getting to that point. I think Mongols is one of K1's favorite civs, and we know what Mongols can do in the late game. So I think it's a good choice by K1, but he will need that time to get to the kind of insane numbers of Mangadai and Siege Ram and things like this. Dave's done the right thing by picking another camel civ for the Saracens. I think I would have liked to have seen Gajaras. I think that would have been the best pick, but Saracens is definitely not bad. And I think Alpha's pick as Britons it's they're a great civ. So yeah,
especially when they're up there. Let's go. Let's get it cracking. We will crack right on. We're not going to do it with Spectate CA this time. We're literally just going to go straight in there. Good stuff. Let's go. So let's turn off everything so we can see what's going on. So who do you want to start with, Sulla? Who do you want to look at first?
Let's stick on Dave for now. I can't actually see. Are the deer inside the bases, or are they on the outside?
They're outside.
So
I just love that. Makes it a little bit trickier to lower it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they're going to do this, but you can always do some kind of crazy strategies on these semi-closed maps. So they really wanted to disrupt K1's economy and sort of make it even longer before he gets that insane combination that I was talking about. Well, yeah, potentially. Or he could go for a tower rush as well. You can see those 2 golds in K1's base if they scout that. If you get a tower in between the wall and that gold on the outside, that's actually going to deny the gold on the outside as well, and it's going to make it really, really hard for K1 to actually get to Castle Age in the first place.
I mean, you're committing to do that, right?
You are committing, but you're going to assume that Alpha is going to beat Eamsy. So yes, it's a high-risk strategy, but if it pays off, it's going to work really well.
It's going to give them that little advantage that they need right at the start.
The thing is, if Dave scouts, is Dave even going to scout that part of the map? I don't know. It looks like he's just going to be doing the deer.
So that's the key to doing it, isn't it? Get a sheep or turkey or goose or whatever you've got. Leave the gate open. Lure the deer in one by one. I mean, when I do this, I tend to move the geese out of the way when I'm in with it, just to kind of stop any. You know what? Stuart, I'm just lazy. I just delete my wall, but I would not recommend that. So don't listen. You just delete your wall.
Excuse me. Yeah, it looks like everyone has got and not very ideal gold. And that's the kind of consistent theme on this map.
Dog. Lovely bit of gold.
Well, that is a really nice gold. Yeah, so that's what you want, really.
Standaton. Amron.
Not bad bit of gold.
Not bad, yeah. It's just K1s really that's in a really bad place.
And
yeah, they're both right next to each other. It's really not ideal.
So, no, I suppose his gold's a bit further in, isn't it? So town might not reach.
If you put it right up against the wall, it would. Yeah. But it looks like everyone's just doing their deer, so I don't think that's going to happen. Now in the late. Sorry, you go.
No, I was going to say let's speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think you can do that.
Yeah, let's get it up to the Cheedles.
You right, boys?
So that was Key that stopped in to say hello.
I may have just moved in. Forgive me, Kay.
Right, so where are we at with it? Okay, the King's barracks down nice and close. The barracks been down by Alpha. Nothing up by Amesy yet, or by K1. So, are we going for an early push, are we here?
So it looks like K1 is going to be doing a fast castle, which again can be very risky. Like I said, if they'd gone for that forward tower, or perhaps if Dave had gone for that famous Saracen Archer build that is very effective on hideout, it might not have worked out. But it doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of early aggression, so I think the fast castle is going to work out.
Right, bring it down to normal time.
It's really interesting that Dave's doing scouts. Now, scouts aren't really that common on this map because the damage they do to walls is quite low. And K1's just going to wall this out really easily.
Yeah, he's good at his walls, isn't he? Let's be honest. We've said it plenty of times. You've said it plenty of times as well. So it looks like Alpha's going in for a push as well. Looks like they're sticking to the same strategy as before, right?
Yeah, it looks like that.
K1's up now. Castle goes down already. Wow, instant castle as soon as he gets the resources, bang, the castle goes down. What do you make of that?
Yeah, and that's going to protect his gold. It means he's going to be able to get Mangadai out. That's a great unit for defending with, because it means that if Concern Dave does siege, the Mangadai do extra damage against siege. So it looks like the fast castle's worked out for him. I can't help but feel Dave should have gone for a different unit in Cheedle, because scouts and hideout, not so useful.
Alpha's in. And he's got a couple of defensive towers up actually. Look, nice.
I think
it worked really well, right?
Yeah, it's the right thing to do. Ideally, you'd want those towers a little bit closer to each other, because if those archers just go and sit under one of them, then the other one can't range them. But it looks like it's enough to force him back.
So are these
idle?
I mean,
what do you mean?
They're just attacking that. Okay, no, he is actually going for. He's pushing down to K1. Same strat as last time. Both onto K1. He's pulling his scout back.
See, that's so many scouts from Dave. I mean, and what can those 9 scouts do now? If you think about it, that's 630 food for those 9 scouts, and they're not gonna achieve anything. Think how far that puts your eco back. It's I'm not sure.
What was he thinking to do it? What do you think his thought was?
I honestly don't know. Maybe he thought he was just going to break down the walls and get in, but against a 1700 raid player, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, 18 archers out here now from Alpha Dog. He's relentless with these archer pushes, right?
Yeah, and maybe if he can get in that top side, but I think K1's just going to have the walls down quick enough. However, the Mangudai aren't going to be able to take the fight, even though they're fighting feudal age units, just because they've got the massive units. But K1 doesn't need to take the fights. He's just going to develop his economy.
Yeah.
He's going to have more vills than anyone else because he's got the extra TCs. I think.
This is incredible. Is he coming out to K1 with these as well? He is, isn't he?
Ready.
Surely he's got to take that Vil that's there.
Yay.
Oh, just missed. Okay, now this is the pressure for K1, right? You've got 2v1.
See, you need those archers behind those scouts, though. But Stuart, even if he does get in, he's got 2 TCs and he's got a castle. I just don't think they're going to be able to do the damage.
And he's allowed to just boom behind. Oh wow!
Alpha, you got to shoot the man guy. Okay.
Wow!
You know,
Yay.
He deleted that to let them out.
So I'm not sure who this is a good fight for.
Yay.
Surely
looks like
Alpha because he's got the numbers, right?
But you got to remember, Mangudai do the extra damage and they'll have a castle age upgrades. And
I mean, untouched eco from Dave, untouched eco from Alpha. There he is again, look.
Ready.
He is again.
Yay.
but you got to remember all these military units. What have they achieved so far? Not a lot.
Bit of pressure, bit of fear.
So EMC's actually been alright this game. I think the towers were a good idea. And you got to think, if he can get a castle up, he can get some Huskars out, he can clean these archers. So hopefully he's going to be putting one down soon.
Yeah, that's right. He's Goths, isn't he? Strong Civ late game, right?
Yep, very
Really
strong.
Tough to beat late game.
Very tough for the Britons to beat, for sure. Now, I don't think Dave is going to be able to do much now.
What's his plan then? So he's got his scout. Is he gonna go light cav? He's going camels.
How's he going to get into the walls? How's he going to take the TCs down? I mean, he's not going to go mangonels, is he? Because the Mangudai just kill the mangonels. It's he's just got to make some TCs and boom up and prepare for the late game, really. But you got to think, Mongol late game, one of the best in the game.
Wow. So do you think when the game was loading, Sulla, and they saw the 2 civs, they both swallowed a ball in their throat, you think?
Well, they must be thinking, Goths and Mongols, late game civs, or at least they're both very strong in the late game. So maybe they thought, if we can do some damage in the feudal age, we can snowball on and win the game. But I'm not sure just building scouts was going to cut it. Now, Alpha's walling his side, which is a great idea, and he's actually back in EMC's base. He's going to be doing a lot of damage with those archers. He's going for the castle. He can't stop the castle, and he's going to start making skulls. So,
I mean, would you go under the TC5 just to try and take some kills out here or not? I mean, he hasn't. What's your thoughts on that? Would you do that?
Not with archers.
No, okay.
It's not worth it. I mean, the EMZ's economy isn't good enough right now to have a decent number of Huskars. Looks like he's going to go for a forward siege workshop. So I'm not sure about this, because if he thinks he's going to take down the castle with the rams, the Huskars from the castle are just going to kill the rams, and they're not going to take very much damage from the crossbows. So I'm not sure about this, but we'll see what happens.
Interesting. In the meantime, K1's in Dave's base now.
Whoa.
So we've gone from an untouched eco to...
So what can Saracens do as a response to this? So they can go archers, which are fairly good against Mangudai. They can go skirmishers, but it's not really a unit you want to be going in team games. Camels are okay, but the Mangudai can just run away from them.
Which is what he's doing, right? One shot run, one shot run.
Exactly, and you got to think about it. How many military units has K1 built this game? Maybe 10? And Dave and Alpha have done 50?
Yeah.
And
so right.
just think how much better K1's economy is going to be right now.
Yeah. I mean, look, even though they're bottom score, yeah. K1's clear in front here. I mean, bill count 71, 74 bills. Yeah, he's 14 on the next best bill count. He's definitely got a boom going on. Or he's gonna have one. They've got to be thinking
Ready.
now, Dave.
Mandatum.
What are we got to do? You know, how are we going to get out of this mess? We tried to have it early on. Didn't pay off. I mean, if anything, it looks like all Alpha Dog is doing here is trying to keep Amesy at bay. You know, keeping a close watch, right? Look at this, Sulla. Look at that.
Pretty nice economy, yeah.
I mean,
Yay.
31 farms.
Very nice. And you don't actually need too many. 'Cause,
31 farms.
if you're just going for Mangadai, you don't need too many farms. So when he starts getting his gold mining numbers up, I think it's going to be looking very nice. Now, he isn't in the best position ever, but he's definitely not dead. So I think considering how bad it could have been, it could be worse.
Okay, so K1 just pinged this area here.
Greeting?
I assume it's just to let Amesy know that... I mean, surely Amesy can see it, right? Yeah.
Now, I think what could be really good is what I suggested earlier. If they could do a castle outside Imsy's base on those 2 golds, that could really end the game.
Here.
Because he just wouldn't have any access to gold.
Yeah.
In fact, even if he just put a few archers, took down the tower, it could be really bad. And remember that K1 and Imsy don't have a big army, although he's going for the ram push. Is it going to work out for him?
Castle. We said about this earlier,
Or...
the only thing you could really do is...
But if the Mangadai turn up now, they're going to kill all of them. And this is what I said, right? This is the problem with siege pushes against Mongols. They just don't work. Is he going to have time? Look how quickly they die. No way.
Wow. Is he going to get the castle up?
Ready.
Well, have they seen it?
No, I don't think K1's going to take that fight. I don't think he'd win.
Well, it's going up. There's not a lot they can do about that. That castle is going down. Okay, castle outside of the stone now for K1. And this is the sieve that you said he gets gold from mining stone.
No,
right?
no, that's poles. But castles are very important for the Mongols because you need them to produce your Mangadai, which are your best units. So stone is very important for them, and he's got to keep his castles up. So, I mean, K1's score is huge.
It's insane, isn't it? They've just taken over the lead as a team score.
And you got to think with Alpha that siege push it didn't achieve anything, and it's going to set his Imperial time back. So it's...
Yeah, let's have a look at his eco, shall we? Yeah, 40 on food. Oh, sorry, 40 food. He's only got 19 on food.
Well, he doesn't need to... I mean, look at all the wood he's got. He needs to be selling that or doing something with it. He's actually just clicked... He has clicked up to Imp. I would have ideally liked to have seen a few more on food. Because he will need to add some pikemen in as well. But also you need it for some of the important Britain upgrades. So Yeoman it costs a lot of food. Wolf needs a lot of food. But
Ames's up first. So.
Wow.
Ames's going to hit Imp first.
I wouldn't have expected that, would you?
No. Well, I mean, you know, he was quiet, wasn't he? Has he produced any army yet? I think a couple of Staries. Nothing major.
Well,
that's why he's gone up first.
If you get some early trebs out, I mean, it could be very nice.
There we go. Yeah, tread the castle down, but then...
Is he going to do some trebs?
The big army, Alpha Dog, and look at the flood of crossbowmen walking around. He loves it. He absolutely loves the crossbow, man. What's going on at Dave and K1? That's an interesting castle spot. I like that.
It's very nice on the hill. Ideally,
There's
you want
another
it
one there, and I think
forward.
they're...
Yeah, no. Now this is the thing. Should Alpha and Dave be just teaming up on K1 right now? Ideally, yes, but I don't think Eamsy is in a position where you could just leave him. You know, he's still there. He's an imp. He can still send Huskarls into your economy, so I think Eamsy's done really well to survive here.
Okay, and in a straight-up battle, Sulla, these camels here by Dave versus these manga guys by K1, who's winning that fight?
So, there's always the... of course, camels do extra damage against the horses. Mounted units. But you got to remember, K1 can just retreat back to his castles. He's got two right next to each other, and there's no way that Dave can take that fight.
Not under the castles.
So, absolutely no way.
Not with the pikemen as well.
No, he's done really... Usually you wouldn't go pikemen as Mongols because you don't get help. But he's done the right thing here because even though they're just pikemen, they're still going to be really good against the camels. So it looks like K1's going to have the much better army for sure.
Go.
And Alpha actually got the trucks out earlier.
Alpha dog now. Here we go. Let's see how this goes.
I wonder why Eamsy didn't do any trebs. Maybe he just didn't have the economy. It just seems so strange because he got to imp first. Oh. I think he's going to be repairing that castle for a very long time, Mr. Stuart.
Got to go back to this because the fight's on.
Oh, it looks like a very good fight for K1. Those pikemen are...
I think K1's got that. Ready. What's he going to build to counter it? There you go.
Now, the unit I would really like to see here is Scorpions, yeah. Or even the good old Mamelukes, but they're very, very hard to tech into. They're a very expensive unit. But at the moment, it just doesn't look like Dave has anything to stop this army. Now, Stuart, looking at the game right now, who do you think has the advantage?
I mean, looking at the team scores, it's very close, very, very close, right? But K1's score is, I mean, you know, look, let's just quickly go back to his base. We looked at this earlier, we commented earlier, right? We said, unbelievable eco behind him, right? So, you know, it really is looking like these guys are going to take it, in my opinion.
Thing is, Eamsy's situation. Yeah, it's pretty beastly, and it just doesn't look like.
The camels have come around the back. Are they going to take the treads out? No, they're not.
Oh,
unlucky
no.
there, Dave. Nearly.
The thing is, it is looking very, very good for K1 right now, but is Eamsy's position in his base looking good right now? I don't think it does at all. And
oh wow, okay.
when Alpha gets, I mean, look, the castle's gone. That TC is going to be gone. I mean, Eamsy's literally having to move his entire economy.
2 projects and it's gone. Okay, right. Now ask me the same question again.
Stuart, who do you think is in the better position?
Wow,
I think.
It's funny, isn't it? Alpha's pushing, everyone's moving around the map. That's basically what's happening right now. You know, unless Dave can clear this from K1, you know, it's looking pretty unstoppable. You know,
Dave is conserving some army though, and he hasn't lost too much economy. This is the big difference. Eamsy's just lost his entire economy. Can K1 do a 2v1? Well, he's got the Civ to do it. He's got Mongols, but I mean, we're gonna have to see some pretty epic gameplay by K1 right now.
right? That's what we should all expect for the elo he's at, right?
This is very true. I mean, look, Dave is doing skirms right now. Not the unit you really want to see, but it is the right choice. You do extra damage against the Mangudai and extra damage against the Python, so
Yeah.
I think it's the right choice.
It's getting intense. K1's definitely moving in. Ames's rebuilding at the back now.
Stuart, let's see what Alpha's doing with his army. Right, so he's stopped the walls. Oh, this could be very, very bad. Very bad if he gets in right now.
You know, I wonder what was going on in that voice chat to decide to put the wall up there to stop Alpha pushing in from behind, right?
Well, it's something that probably needed to be done earlier.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've got the castle here to protect it. You know, because look, let's be honest. As soon as he pulls these manganese back, take these out, right? Dave's pushing, and that's probably what K1's thinking. Although his camels have gone.
I think Dave is looking in a very vulnerable position right now. If K1 can add in anything that's not an archer, I think Dave's in big trouble. So he's actually realised that Alpha is in a really threatening position. He's pulling the entire army back. I think this fight is going to be the most important one of the game. If K1 can win this, then the game continues. If he loses, I think it's GG.
And it's GG's. Wow. What another twist. I mean, look at the score difference now as well, going up and up and up. In terms of team scores, you know, yeah, K1's still up there with the highest score, but you know, I think that the strong point is the two lads with the 1 cup combined, you know, are both really good scores, right?
For sure. This is it, Stuart. I think.
Here we go.
Well, I just don't know. I don't know who's going to win this. I think. Oh no, I don't know. I think K1's just going to take it.
I think Alpha Dog knows it. He's pulling back.
I think with the Hussars in front, they're going to be tanking some damage. I think it's going to just about get him the win. He's going to keep moving back. If he gets the castle, he's going to be okay.
I think that's where
The thing is, regardless of how this fight goes, it's given Dave time to just, you know, calm down a bit, get his army back together. But actually, it's well defended by K1. And K1's got to survive for the next few minutes before Easy can get an army out. Now, my worry is that Mongols Goths in the late game is going to be pretty much impossible to beat. I mean, they've got all the units that they need to have a really kind of devastating combo.
Yeah.
I think Alpha and Dave have really got to do something now. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult for them in the late game. Because Eamsy right now, he doesn't have any military, he doesn't have a great economy. But if you give him 5, 6, 7 minutes to reboom, he's going to start adding Huskars, and it could make a big difference.
Which is exactly what he's doing right now. Look, you called it. TC, forward TC right round with K1, tucking up next to him, look. Which is what he should be doing, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's actually being pretty cheeky, just adding in some random Huskars at the back of his base. And you can just see how annoying those units are for the Britons, because you can't just send 10 archers to deal with 5 Huskars, you got to send
30.
40 archers,
Yeah.
30 archers, exactly.
Ooh, double walling now, look. K1's really buying some time. And I think that buying time is for Amesy, right?
Yeah, I think it is. And it seems a bit ridiculous, but it's definitely the right thing to do.
And it's got to be done, look. And he's going to do
K1
the
is
third
just
one.
abandoning his own villagers on the other side of the walls.
Grayton, ready.
Yeah.
Mandatum.
Can we see how the fight with Dave's going?
You sure can. I was fascinated by the walls. Here we go then. Okay, loads of elite skirms coming around. Wow, 54 of them coming around to take on these Mangudais. And are these the perfect counter for the Mangudais then?
Yes, if it was just Mangudai. I think the problem is they do no damage against the Hussars, and the Mangudai can just run away, and the Hussars can deal with the
Clean up the skirms. Yeah.
Now, you will say that the camels would deal with the Hussars, but the problem is the Mangudai kill the camels so quickly. I mean, look how many units the The Skirms have already lost, and they haven't even got to the Mangudai yet. He'll need something else. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I think Mameluke is probably the best thing that he can do. But I don't think Skirm's going to be a long-term solution. And this is the problem as well. When K1 starts adding in his siege rams, the Skirms are just going to start doing nothing. Now, is Alpha going to bring his army round to this side, or is he going to make some holes in those walls? I wonder what he's doing right now.
Well, it looks like his trebs have backed up, or they've been destroyed.
Now my question is, why has Alpha got 50 Arbalists doing nothing? Surely he should be sending them to the other side.
I think he's lost the trebs, Sulla.
Are they not going around to the other side?
I'm struggling to see where they are.
I mean, that's huge. And this is the problem, right? You just need a few Huskars and you can do so much.
Wow, here we go. Yeah, look. Hussar's just raiding Dave round the back here.
And the thing is, Dave's trying to do so much right now. He's trying to micro those Skirms, he's trying not to die.
That's it. And I reckon K1 just selected a couple of Hussars, flicked round the back, and kind of let them do their own thing, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, we've got 14 camels idle here.
Yeah, they really need, the other team needs to be using their military way more effectively right now. What I'd love to see is Alpha to do some siege workshops down by those blue walls. And just do some rams and start pushing them and force K1 to react. You know, we've got all these archers doing absolutely nothing, and I just don't understand why.
Are they going to do a wall here, do you think?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, in the meantime, Amesy is just left to boom. Back up to 55 vils. Dave's now down to 58 vils. Yet K1 and Alpha are steaming in the lead with, well, what's that? K1 on 111 vils and Alpha Dog on 131. So, bit of a boom going. Are they catching the score, and will they?
Well, this is the thing, and this is what I was saying. If those Arbalists were around the other side right now, do you think Dave would be in the position that he was in right now?
No.
I don't think so. And if K1 was having to break off his army to go and defend at the back of his base, I don't think that would be happening.
Weston said the camels are on strike. The camels round the back up here are on strike. They've moved.
Wow. Everything's on strike these days.
Yeah.
See, this is the late game Mongols right here. Very, very hard to beat.
Mongol siege ram with some hussars and pikemen. Yeah. I think Alpha Dog was coming round to maybe castle drop round there or something,
but he's just gonna have to go back because
yeah, he's seeing what's going on.
Doesn't have an army anymore.
And I think this push here might be just that little bit too late.
Yeah, it does feel like that. Although he is in now, K1 doesn't have anything around.
Is he going to go straight down? No, he's going to.
But will Eamesy have the production to do some Huskars now?
There's floods of pikemen. Hussars are coming back now. Then I assume they're going to be coming back to take on the air blasters. And what are these like against Hussars?
So they're good in high numbers. I think the numbers that he's got now, fine. But I feel like he needs more. He needs some halberdiers or something like this to screen them.
Okay.
K1's going to be
put
able
in front.
Exactly. K1's going to have enough Hussar just to delay this push for long enough. He's got the castle in the back that's going to prevent the Arbalist from just walking in.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fine. If Eamesy can add in some Huskars, I think they can clean this up.
I mean, it's very interesting that Alpha Dog didn't just, you know, cut a couple of trees. Yeah, cut a couple of trees there. Sat in here and, you know, he's got all this for the picking here, right? But it's easy to say when you're sat here.
No, I know. It's easy to
see
when you can see everything.
Yeah.
Now, this looks like it could be a good fight for K1. We're going to see how it goes. You've got to remember that the Mongol Hussar have extra HP, so they're going to be... it's hard to say. I think with the pikemen, it's going to be fine. Yeah. to us and release them just to help out.
In the meantime, the push is. I mean, Sulla, wasn't there a base there?
Was there?
That's what a couple of cat rams and some mangadais do, right?
Yeah. And if Eamesy can use those pikemen, that looks like another. Oh, there you go. So Eamesy is currently on 56 villagers. If you can get that up to 100, I think it can be very, very
In
good.
7 days, 41 bills down to now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Alpha's deleted some bills, 120.
That's the right thing to do.
He's been pushed back now. I mean, they've got to be thinking about calling it now.
No, I don't think so. I don't think K1 can push in 2 separate directions. And actually, Dave has remade his base on the left-hand side of the
down
map,
here.
and I don't think K1 has found it yet. So, oh no,
I think he's
So
found
he's
it. It's
in.
just whether he can do anything about it or not.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to. Everyone who knows this game, plays this game, knows that when you're trying to fight in 2 different places, it's really hard.
Don't you just love that? These rams, they hold these pikemans in. You know, did you just see that? You know, the camels took down a ram from K1 and then out popped another pikeman from Amesy. I mean, fantastic teamwork there with that. Nice to see, anyway. You know, you just see the camels start running away as soon as they took the ram out.
Actually, Dave is he going to keep this castle up? No.
No, it's gone down.
And it
Now
looks like he's going to lose this base.
That's it. His eco's going to go. Looks like he's starting to reboom back up here. He's going to try and rebuild back up here, shall we say, with a bit of protection from Alpha Dog. I mean, look at the map with the colouring around here. I mean, these boys have got this, you know, fully locked down.
Yeah, it looks like K1 and Eamsy's base is actually pretty secure, and I think that could be the big difference. Don't know why Eamsy's doing skirmishes, but there's some skirmishes there.
I mean, the skirms are going to be for the R-blasters, right?
Yeah, but you think he would just do Huskars, but maybe gold's a problem. One thing I wanted to touch on now is that gold's going to start getting a bit hard to come by. Has anyone started trade yet?
We have seen trade, yeah. K1 and Amesy have got some trade running along the bottom. Looks like it's majority, mainly just K1 with the trade. I think Amesy's got a couple of trade carts going here. I mean, maybe if we switch to Amesy's view and look at his gold, got 7 on gold.
He's trading into his old base.
21. Oh no, he doesn't want to be doing that, does he?
Uh-oh.
Has he spotted that? I'm going to say no. He definitely hasn't.
Oh no, Eamsy. You hate to see it.
Push, yeah, you do. You're right. Push continues. I mean, Alpha Dog and Dave are really holding on here, I feel. You know, they're really thinking, look, let's find our top corner up here and try and push it. You know, from there maybe. Alpha Dog decided to come this way around now with his army, which kind of makes sense, I suppose.
Because K1 has invested all his gold into starting up this trade, he won't have been able to make gold units. So that's why you see the majority of his army is just Hussar and Skirm.
Okay.
And they're not the units that you need to be pushing. And that's why it's stabilized a little bit at the top. Especially because Alpha has just started doing Alpha. I'm also a bit concerned for Alpha and Dave because they haven't actually added in any trade yet. And you're going to start noticing that kick in a
And a lot of idle military here. Look. I mean, these guys here, 33 there that's idle. We've got 36 there that's idle.
I just can't.
Know, he's only fighting with 8.
I can't help but feel that's been the main problem for them in this game. Just huge armies doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I know it takes a long time to walk around the other side, but yeah.
And that was even in the last match, right? And they stormed that match. They played really well and smashed it. You know, it just makes you think that they could probably smash it more, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we all have things to learn. You know,
100%.
Whenever you watch your games back, you always go, "Wow, am I really that bad?"
Yeah. Wow, I need more bills.
Yeah.
I mean, they are dominating now.
I'm worried because when Eamsy starts adding in Huskars, I just don't know what the other team's going to do. But it seems like Eamsy is on, is that 63 villages?
Yeah, 65 for AMZ. Dave's 48 now. Okay, AMZ's looks like he's got some skirmishers sat here. Whether they're just keeping an eye there and sort of making sure no one comes through, or whether he's thinking about doing something that side.
I'm not sure feudal skirmishes are going to...
We'll see. Yeah, I did click on them. I did think they're not elite skirms. Okay, we've got more of his army round here now. Ah, okay, he's brought his army round from here. So that's good. Are they on their way or are they already there? Looks like they're already there. Nope, they're there. They're on their way. Nice.
Seems like a very late game, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it should have already been in late game now, is what you mean, yeah?
As in, I think they're settling in for the no gold on the map, trade, and I think that's why K1 made a very good choice by setting that up early. I'm still a bit scared because I don't see any trade from Alpha or Dave.
Yeah, yeah, nothing at all. Although, you called it. The market goes down at the top of the map. Have we got another market set up though? Are they going to put one in this corner, do you think? Or do you think they're going to...
Well, they've got that whole side of the map cleared. They've got it walled. It seems like the logical choice, doesn't it?
Alpha must be screaming, Dave, get that market up. I've got 3 carts ready to go. Okay, K1 pulling back a little. Well, market's
and
up.
that is a very scary army by Alpha.
What this?
The one at the top, yeah. I don't think the other team have anything to really compete with that right now until Easy starts adding in some.
Okay, because you mean these elites, there's not enough of them. Yeah.
There's not enough Mangadai to deal with that many Arbalists.
Okay, Pikeman in first, or sorry, Harbs in first.
Yeah, it's going to clean it up.
Wow. This is where it gets interesting. Is it going to turn around again?
It's a lot of siege rams dying for nothing as well. But I'm looking at the amount of trade for K1.
Look at the trade, yeah.
I mean,
he's going to be switching back into elite Mangadai shortly, right?
Yeah, that's the problem, and the other team just don't have anywhere near that right now. Although more is definitely needed.
And setting up their walls, ready for their trade. Look, they are really thinking ahead.
I'm glad to see those feudal skirmishers killing those farms. Next level tactics. So it looks like Dave's just going to be contributing to SAR now, which definitely isn't a bad thing. However, he will need trade if the other team is going to have gold units as well.
And how is their trade getting on? Let's have a look. Yep.
Still not much.
Just got the 3 going. I think the waypoint's set to here, but he hasn't updated it. Maybe he just did. Well, it's like they can hear us. It's really funny. No trade from Dave yet. None at all.
Well, he pretty much lost his entire economy, didn't he?
Let's see. Has he got gold?
And the ironic thing.
Oh no! Look at that, Sulla. No gold. No one on gold either. From Dave.
Yeah, I think he'll have to. I mean, he's got 3.5k wood, so even if he has to sell all of it just to get a couple of trade cards.
Wow. Look at Alpha Dogs. Look what he's floating. 12.5k wood, nearly 4k food, 4k gold.
And Stuart, look what K1's doing on the other side of the map. No, on the other side. Yep, walling his trade line in. And I can't tell you how useful that's going to be. Because it means it's entirely protected from any raids that the other team can do. And how many games do people lose just by losing their trade?
Yeah.
You know? In the late game, it's pretty much a death sentence. So hoping the other team do it, because the problem is if Cav Archers get in the back of your base, they can kill you all the trade.
I mean, look at this, 51 trade cards.
Yeah, it's
51. That's assuming that he's not mining any gold anywhere, which I don't think he is. I think the gold's all gone now, right?
I can't see any.
No. A little bit of gold here still. 15.
15.
Still just alpha on trade for the two boys with the 1 cup.
And this is the thing, Dave is only going to be contributing this off.
K1's obviously marked to say that they've just come in and they're in their trade. I mean, these boys now must be seeing this trade and thinking, oh lord.
Oh bugger.
Yeah, we are in for a tough time.
And that's actually a great castle by Easy. It's going to protect the trade. However,
these blasters are getting closer and the Hussars are helping.
And look, K1's actually having to add in...
And look at the score, Sulla. The score is tipped back to the two boys with the 1 cup. It is anyone's game.
Ooh. I think we're going to have to keep an eye on these onagers for a bit. The thing is, with the Britain extra range, it's really hard to get a good onager shot.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Is K1 going to upgrade to the siege onager? I think he's going to have to. Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh dear.
That's not what he wants.
That you can see how one big shot can change an entire fight. And that fight was looking terrible, but now he's just lost 30, 40 arbaleths.
Yeah, and look at the score, switch straight back. Oh, it's so close,
Yeah.
Switch back again. This end-to-end stuff, this is.
It's like a Derby Day final.
Yeah, my favourite versus your favourite.
Yeah. Some of the trade carts are behaving very strangely. I don't know why they're going over there, but there's too many things. Oh, that's a great. Ooh. Yeah, I think those siege onager switch for K1 was a great choice. It seems like they're doing exactly what they need to, which is just pushing those arbalists back, and it means that Easy's infantry can deal with the Hussar, and it looks like they're gaining ground again. So.
And have we got villagers here ready to relay this wall? You know,
well, they're going to need to push it back a bit.
Are they going to do it? Yes, they are. Look at that. He already had the 2 bills set to repair that wall, get that gate done. The fret's gone, push it to their side. Oh, he's slipping.
Here we go, here's the siege onager, is it going to get him?
Oh, the range on that.
Stuart, how many trade cards does Dave have?
Dave?
Yeah.
Dave currently has 3 on gold.
But 80 on food.
Versus 56 for K1.
And how many on gold does Eamsy have?
Eamsy has 9.
But he does... Whoa! Go back to Eamsy's resources.
This is Aimsy's 5.5k food.
See, this is
2.5k wood. So he's pop limit as well. So this guy can just... Yeah, and he's doing what we thought, right? He's spamming Hussars.
Spamming Hussars, yes.
Hussars, yeah. Look at that.
And this is the thing with the goth.
60
You don't
in
even...
view there. Surely we get in there now, Sulla.
I mean, it's looking pretty good. See, K1's got so much gold, he can actually sling gold to Eamsy, which is perfect for this situation. And you're just looking at these armies, Stuart, and can Alpha and Dave stop this?
And no, I mean, I genuinely don't think they can at all, looking at this push now going into Alpha space. Although, look at Dave, he's really boomed back up the side there, but, you know, again, with no trade carts, yeah, this is it. It's, you know...
And the thing is, yes, the Britain Arbs, can we just have a look at those siege onagers? Oh dear.
I don't think they can reach them.
They can't reach them, but you've got to constantly be thinking about your arbalists and not thinking about other things. So.
Yeah. Constantly microing them so they don't just die. And this is really impressive from K1. He's got 56 trade cards from gold, but you know he's using the resources that's coming in. I mean, look, not so much now because it's going up quite a bit, but you know, a minute ago that was always bumping around the under 50 gold.
I think this is one of the key kind of skills of a good player is that they're constantly using their resources.
Yeah.
That they have. Yeah, and K1 demonstrated that really well this run.
Looks like they've tried to they decide to go this way now through the middle for a push straight into Alpha's base.
There's 3 castles there. We've got to put around. It's going to be hard, but
3 castles, 3 TCs, a shed load of art blasters, loads of hussars coming down. But I mean, look at the flood of units from Amesy coming in here.
And when those hussars get into those obelisks, they're going to kill them so quickly. It's hard to suggest what, but I feel like Alpha and Dave need to add another unit. But the problem is Dave doesn't have any gold.
I mean, what units are there? What you know, at this stage, you're under this much pressure. It's 1-1. You know, you're late in. What do you switch to?
It's a great question. I don't know. I don't think there's anything much more you can do as the Britain player. I think Dave just needed to add trade carts a bit earlier. But it's easy for us to say that because at the time he was in a terrible position. But yeah, look at this. It's yeah.
What a push this is. More hussars coming down as well. And you know, these hussars, they're doing a lot, right? You know, they're doing their bit. They're neat. Is that what they call it?
Neat? What do you mean? What is this neat?
Just throw it out.
Oh.
You know, just send it in to clog it up and let the art blasters. You know, I mean, that's effectively what he's doing there, right?
Yeah, he's basically got infinite
creating a
production.
bottleneck. Yeah.
Yeah, and those walls left over, like you said, creating a bottleneck means that K1 means you can't actually get all their numbers in. But this castle that K1's doing behind is going to be perfect. It's going to clear that up. I think a few trebs would actually be worth it here because siege rams for Mongols are great, but this is not a big space.
Alpha Dog spotted that castle, trying to take it down straight away. What a final battle this is.
And this
in the words of Hermetica, it's truly epic.
This is an insane game, and who knew it was going to go this late, right? I don't think any of the tournament games have gone this late. It's insanely close. It looks like K1 and Eamesy have got an advantage, but could it turn around? Absolutely.
I think it could. I mean, look back at the scores. Look, you know, K1 and Amesy was starting to take away a little bit, but it looks like Dave and the dog have pulled it back.
Dave and the dog, that's what they should have.
Dave and the dog, yeah, they should, yeah, rather than the 2 boys with the 1 cup, yes.
I'm actually, K1's going to lose this castle, and wow.
And that's big,
It's huge.
Because
absolutely.
look, now they're flooding through, they're able to push back on the push. He's trying another castle.
Only 5 villages, right?
Yeah, it's going to take a while with just 5 villages, but he's going to get it up nonetheless.
But those Huskars in the middle.
Trading units, right? Trading the units.
And it only takes 1 siege onager shot, the whole game flips.
Yeah, but where are those onagers, Sulla?
I don't know, they're expensive, but I think we need to see a few of them.
You know, we've got the workshops.
Another thing that's concerning me is that Eamesy needs to move his barracks up. His Huskars are having to walk so far just to get to the actual battle.
Oh wow, yeah, they're coming from here, right? Well, 4 from here and then loads from here, but I mean, this is something I've noticed this in the map whilst we've been watching that battle, and this nice to see, right? They've got the trade going. Dave's got some trade going. I assume Alpha's slung him some gold because Dave was down to nothing with no one mining gold. So, you know, that's nice to see. You know, it's not as strong as this trade, but it's trade, right?
It's like a traffic jam.
Yeah, Yeah, it really is this bit here.
It's good to see Dave's got some trade now, and it's going to make the battles a bit more interesting because he can actually add in more than one type of unit. Like I said, I'm still hoping for those Mamelukes, but it's a very expensive unit.
Do you think they're going to do it? You know, would they switch into those?
So my argument is that because they do melee damage, they're good against the siege. They have a bonus against mounted units, so they're not great against Mangudai because Mangudai have more range, but they still do a lot of damage, and they still do decent damage against the infantry. So I feel like they're the best unit that the Saracens can make. Those arbs are just really making short work of everything, aren't they?
Oh, that was the one shot!
Oh,
did you
no.
see it? Oh, okay, he must have took about, I think he took at least 15 arb blasters out there. Alpha
He's
Dog
just
laughed
loving
at it. That is fantastic. That is what we like to see.
That was a huge shot.
A little bit of banter, yeah. I can only imagine, I can hear K1 laughing at that in my ear now.
I don't think
Got it.
K1 and Lindsay have got the military close by taking the
And another one.
Oh, it's
The arb
huge.
blasters are low, he needs to recoup those, which he is doing right now. But again, where's his archery ranges? They're quite far away.
Yeah, this is the thing, that the forward production buildings just aren't there. They need, especially Eamesy needs to be moving his up.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming from all directions, really, Amesy is. But you're right, there's nothing stopping them building them all close here. It's crazy as well, isn't it? It's such a large map, but yet this tiny space is where they've chose to...
They've actually taken the Trebs down. They have lost the castle. Just the overall army numbers just don't seem to be there for K1 and Eamesy. I know Alpha has lost a lot of arbs to those siege onagers, but he's generally sustaining like a good number of 40 or 50 arbs, and they just seem to be doing a really good job in defending right now. So I think before their next attack, K1 and Eamesy need to get...
Here we go, Sulla.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yes, nice.
Sorry to interrupt that there, but those onager shots are just unreal. Game changers, like you say.
Oh, here we go. So Eamsy's got about, well, I don't know how many that is. 40 Pascal. Just coming out the back of the screen there. I think if he sends them in now with some support, it's going to be pretty good. No, Eamsy, not the steal. Stuart, do you feel like they could be attacking on the left-hand side here?
You mean pushing up this way, K1 and Amesy? Yes, I do. I mean that was interesting. A failed castle drop there.
Seems like the right idea, though.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, it feels like they need to do something. Although, look, they are starting to push through, and it's the Huskarras, like you said, right? As soon as Amesy can mass a few of those up, they're going to go through. They're going to shred the arb blasters, and then everything else can follow through.
It just takes the archers out of the equation, doesn't it? And it means that everything else can push up. And like I said, the Huskar was just the key thing to this game. And it looked, yeah, you're right. I think this looks like a really good push. We've got more siege rounds coming in the back, 5 or 6 more. I mean, if they take these 2 castles, it could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I think if they get into Alpha's main part of the base here, I think it's definitely going to be GG's.
Oh man, look how many siege rounds they've got, and they're still Huskars.
And the elite Mangudais are in numbers now. I mean, and this is all thanks to this, right?
Yeah.
You know, without that, they wouldn't have done it. You know, I think the trade from Dave and Alpha just too late.
Hasn't been that. And when was the last time you saw a gold unit from Dave? I don't know.
I mean, let's have a little look now. What's he sat on gold wise? I mean, he's got 39. It's 39 now in the trade. 43. So he's really trying to focus on getting that trade production going. But again, it's the score difference now. Look, I mean, it's a clear 2k gap.
It looks like that castle's going to go down as well, and you're just thinking, Do you ever see Alpha and Dave pushing this back?
I can't now, Sulla. I can't. I hate to say it. As much as I love Dave and the dog, I think it's just got a bit the better of him. Alpha's got villagers moving out now, trying to retreat out to see if he can, keep his food production going at the back. Whilst Team Whatever is doing whatever.
Yeah, they've lost the siege rams now, but the thing is they can just retreat back to the castle. And this is the thing, Dave and Dog, they just don't have any siege, and whenever they do have siege, they've got to contend with the siege rams, the Mangudai and the Huskars, which are all great at killing siege. So it's always going to be an uphill battle for them.
And what are we looking for now then? Villagers to come through from K1 and Amesy to just start getting some bits down in this middle bit. A couple of castles on the entrance here maybe.
Oh yeah,
just
exactly.
to secure that bit off.
I mean that was the bottleneck, wasn't it? Once they pushed out of that.
Yeah, I mean look how quickly this base has fallen after, it took them a good 15 minutes to get through that tiny bit there, but once they're through, they're pretty unstoppable, sort of.
Yes, definitely. And it looks like they're going to lose this castle as well. And you've got to say it's... Whoa. K1 score, 41,000.
So again, just to confirm guys, the Twitch title was a bit of a glitch on it, so we couldn't actually get it right. So it's not the Gods of War versus trying to take over the world. This is match 5 in the Pangea 2v2 tourney. We'll show the bracket at the end of the game, so you can see who's through and who's playing next. But yeah, it's Whatever versus 2 boys and 1 cup, so apologies if the title's wrong.
Just noob streamers.
We're noob streamers. We are noob streamers. You are right. In terms of casting a game, I mean, this is my first set of casting. I've enjoyed it, Sulla, and great to have you on with me, buddy.
It's been a beauty, and oh, look at this.
We're talking like it's not over. Come on, it's not over yet.
It's not over. Look again. This is what ends this game, Stuart. He's going to the back of his base where the trade is, and once your trade goes,
yeah, they're going to call it right. 40 seconds.
Oh my word.
I mean, Alpha must be looking at that now and going, that's
it. I think it's the motivation, right? You've been hardcore sweating it for an hour, and then K1 just has the audacity to run to the back of your base and fill your trade.
Wouldn't you do it, Sulla? Sulla, wouldn't you do it?
Of course,
really
but it's you would be feeling proper low right now, and you still got Huskars, you still got siege rams streaming into your base.
This is impossible to clean up, Sulla. Look, you've got Huskar is running around.
And sure, once this raid is over, we're going to have to look at the gold numbers, because I mean, they must have lost 20, 30 trade cards, and they're so difficult to replace.
I mean, look at this, relentless, pushing this side, pushing at the top, taking out the trade. And there we go, the Vils have got in. Yes, Amesy, that is what we wanted to see, buddy. Good job bringing those barracks nice and forward. Could even probably take the nick and get him right up here. Okay, so I don't know if you see that there, but Alpha Dog has literally just upgraded to champions. Is it one final? But then champions are a lot of gold, right? And
it's not going to cut it against the Mangudai.
They've cleared the Mangudai.
I mean, they do technically counter Skull, but they don't hard counter them.
So they're not. This isn't going to turn around again, is it?
No.
I mean, I would be stunned if they turn this around again.
Stuart, I'm afraid I didn't expect it to go on this long. I've got to go to the toilet. I'm really sorry.
No, you go, buddy. I'll hold that thought for you. You enjoy it. Here we go. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it looks like Dave and the dog are pushing it back one last time. This might be the final go. Who knows? I mean, this game has been an hour and 50 minutes so far, and it's literally been end to end, chopping and changing every minute. Can they deny the castle? Oh my word. Okay, so it looks like then K1 and Amesy are going to try and get this left-hand side nailed down. and then they can try and maybe push from that side as well. But this is just insane, guys. Another pushback again. Yeah, this is what makes this game so good, right? Real-time strategy, the ability to just be able to, you know, think on the fly and just really quickly change the units that you're going into. There are blasters. Wow. You know, I think they've got to. They've got to try and push this left side. I think it's the only way now. I mean, Dave and the dog, the perseverance that you guys have shown has just been, in the words of Hermetica, just epic. Truly epic. You know, most would have thrown it in by now. You know, if you can go and turn this game around, I think that's it's worthy of winning a tourney, boys. It looks like they've replaced the trade. Have they started to wall it off yet, though? Don't think they want to focus on that. They just want to continue with the push. K1's back to the elite manga guys again after losing the last lot and taking the trade out. Ainsley's switched the champions now as well. Let's see what their ecos are looking like. Okay, so Dave can technically have the bigger army. K1, look at that eco. I mean, he's still floating. A beautiful bit of eco from K1. They pushed it back. Sulla, they pushed it back, but it looks like they lost. They started to slip the pushback, and it looked like they're being pushed back again.
I think one thing you need to consider is that there's absolutely no way Alpha and Dave are getting into their trade. I mean, not only have they got to push very far, but they've also got to get behind a wall. If K1 makes a gap, he can just send his Mangadai through and do exactly what he did before.
I mean, they've all got really good resources, dude. They're floating some pretty healthy numbers there. All of them.
But whose composition do you prefer, Stuart? Huskal, Mangadai, and Seejaram?
Well, from what I've seen so far, yes, I think that is the one, right? You know, I mean, the switch-ups from Dave have been phenomenal. I think, you know, switching back and forth.
Adding in the camels, definitely good. I mean, yeah. How many siege rams is there? 10? Just at the top there.
Yeah.
And the thing is once you lose a castle, how are you going to replace it? There's no stone left on the map.
Yeah.
So,
and you're not buying any, let's be honest.
No, absolutely.
Although K1 must be buying it.
Well, he's had 50 trade cards for a very long time.
59 trade card. I can't wait to see the gold count at the end. What are we saying? 100k? 100k in gold?
No, I don't know. But Stuart, I think those Mangadai are going to run through in a second. And look at that siege onager, because if that gets on those archers.
Yeah. Look, and he's going for it. Nope.
Oh no, I think he is. And look, those Huskars are just going to chase them away, and there's absolutely nothing Alpha can do.
I think if they get that castle down, that's an important castle right there, right? They're edging that further and further, that bit by bit.
Exactly, yeah.
And those rams are just running wild.
And just keep an eye on those Mangadai. Keep an eye on those Mangadai.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think they are. They're going for that trade again.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the GG right now. There just isn't the army available to clean this up.
No, because the army's just trying to stop this push. I mean, look, the guy. I mean, look, the team whatever have even got idle army sat there not doing anything. You know, I think it's GG Sulla. 7k score difference now as well.
It's looking pretty impossible.
It's been a great game. What a great game. Literally just sat there taking the trade out. Yeah.
And you got to give credit where credit. I mean, obviously K1 is a great player and he's played really great, but Eames's contribution can't be understated because those Huskars completely changed the game.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think without them, he would never have, got through and cleared the R-blasters.
Exactly. It's. I think you're right, Stuart. I think it's looking pretty over.
We're at the 2 hour mark.
4.
What an insane game.
But I mean, it's not over yet. I'm not going to say anything. It's not over yet.
No, because every time we've said that, they've all of a sudden turned it around and pushed it back. But this is unstoppable right here. Nothing's going to it.
I mean, last time it was sort of within 20, 30 seconds they had something up there, but I mean,
what's that? 200 wood, 200 gold? These trade cards?
I think it's 80 and 80, something.
Oh, is it? Okay. But still, yeah, there we go. GG called. 2 hours and 2 minutes 10 seconds. What an epic match. Guys watching in Twitch, we've got a few viewers in the channel. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. We'd love to get them. We'd love to get them. Wow, Sulla.
Stuart, those were some immense games.
I mean, you had a little birdie told you that it was going to be a long game. Do you think 2 hours long?
I was not thinking 2 hours because you just don't really see it that much. I mean, both
you do
sides
on Michi, right?
You do on Michi, but yeah, I think if the Wallalol bot selected Michi, I think I would I'd be crying. But
I think the rules state actually that if both teams agree to do a reselection, you can.
I'm very glad to hear this.
Yeah. So that would be nice to know. But look, let's is there any part of the map that you want to talk about quickly before we have a look at the stats? I mean, look, we know obviously the trade down here from K1 and Amesy. Obviously, they got it on really early, walled it up, at a decent time. Was that the winner?
I think walling in the trade, there was a time where Alpha and Dave broke through, but they couldn't get through the wall. So that was obviously a great investment.
That was here, yeah.
The two main mistakes I saw in that game, and I think we both mentioned at the start of the game, like Goths and Mongols in the late game, they're going to kill it. And you can't let them get to a place where they can just make whatever units they want. Is that I feel like Dave doing scouts, he did, sometimes you do something, it doesn't work out. I feel like doing 9 scouts was too many. And I feel there was a point in the game where Alpha could have gone, it would have taken him a long time to get to Dave, but if he had gone to Dave a bit earlier.
Gone round this way instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's so easy to say these things when you're
Of course, and not only that, from Dave and Dog's point of view, from Dave and the Dog, surely they looked at it and thought, we've got a Goths player here. Yeah. You can't let that Goth get go late game, right?
Exactly. But hey, look, you got to say though, both sides played really well. 3 really good games, and yeah, it was just a really epic series. So
yeah, unbelievable. Let's have a look at the stats quickly then before we finish off. We wanted to look at this gold trade, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Okay, 62,000. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah,
it was more. It was more than the entire other team.
Insane. Wow. Absolutely insane numbers, K1.
And that's the number, isn't it? That's the important number.
Some decent times.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I wonder what the minute. Wow.
2007 kills.
But
killed the most and died the least.
Considering the position Eamesy is in when he was basically dead, he's actually almost got a 1-to-1 KD at the end of that game.
Yeah.
With Goths, who are not known for their fantastic kill deaths.
He pulled it back, didn't he? He pulled it back, and he pulled it back really, really well. he made the move, and that was early on, right? That was really early in the game. Amesy moved, and didn't we both at that point? We was a bit, oh dear.
It's not all just about the big player. You gotta focus on the other player as well. And even though Eamesy seemed dead, he did a good job to
Yeah,
to get
and he was definitely a key cog in the machine to get them over the line. I mean, look at that timeline. Very even.
It was very even until the end, basically.
Fantastic.
Right, Stuart, you're doing one more game with Western today.
Yeah, I
aren't
think we're going to. I'm not sure what time we're going to. I mean, I mean, he said if you wanted to stay on and do that one, we've got one more game to show.
I think my voice has probably done enough for today.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll jump on. I'll jump on with Western a little bit later, and we'll do that one. I think in the meantime, what we'll do, just quickly, I think, because it'd be good to get your thoughts on it. Let's. I'm just going to put up the bracket.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we've still got one game to go. So, in terms of casting it, so what I'm going to do, just give it 30 seconds to a minute. Just going to be right back, and just blank out the match that we haven't casted yet, because I don't want to spoil it for anyone if they don't know who won it, or they don't want to know who won it at this stage. But let's just quickly do that and put up the bracket. So I'll be right back. Just stay there. Don't go anywhere. Okay, cool. Right. So we've got it up here then. Let's have a look. I've put my snipping tool over that. All right, guys. So reason being is I don't want you to see who won that match, so you can't actually see it. But that's the bracket so far then, Sulla.
Right. That's...
What's your thoughts? So Cum Buckets. Sorry about the name of some of these.
You can tell we're such a delightful group of people.
Yeah. So Cum Buckets, Wonder Boys 2-1. So Cum Buckets have gone through. Centurions and English Geezers 2-1. So Centurions have gone through. So Cum Buckets versus Centurions for the quarterfinals then.
So it was actually my team that lost to the Centurions.
Oh no!
So
You are the English Geezer, Sulla.
Well, English Geezer, yeah. So that's Golden. The Centurions is Golden Royale and VT Matt. Now, I will say that VT Matt, I think he's only sort of 800, 900 elo, but the impression I got from him was he was a bit better than that. So
okay.
And Golden Royale played really well.
He's Golden Royale. He's a very good player, right?
He's a good player. So I think between them, they've always got a good chance. But I believe I can't even say it with a straight face. Cum Buckets. Who's in the Cum Buckets, Stuart? Tell me.
Well, there's only one person that would come up with a name like that. I think we all know who that is, right? That's good old Western.
And who's his good old teammate?
I believe it's Adu.
So Adu is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest player in the whole tournament. Now, the impression I got from the Cum Buckets and the Wonder Boys game was that Adu pretty much, no offense intended Western, I'm very sorry, pretty much almost 2v1 them every game until Western got to a point where he could have a really good economy and start adding army, and then it became a 2v2 and then they won. So and that was against two kind of pretty good players actually.
Yeah.
Which is Christoph and Bams. So I believe that if I was going to make a bet, I think the good old buckets of cum will probably take that one. But I think it'll be very close. I think it'll be a 2-1.
Fantastic. Good insight. Okay, and then match 3 and 4 then. So we know the results. Let's just look at who's playing in this one. So we know it's Albanian Fishermen and the Stonecutters who's playing next. So the Cheedle Brothers and Green Lightning. So Cheedle Brothers, one of those is me, and the other one's the German guy with Green Lightning, which was Jade and Blitz. Both really good players, very, very good players. I'll just say a quick piece on that. I think obviously my teammate was really good in helping hold the thought, and we just managed to go through. But Albanian Villagers and Stonecutters. Then who's your fancy on that one?
Well, I would say that the Albanian Fishermen had the most.
Sulla, to stop you there, sorry, I've got to stop you there because we've got to engage with these guys in the chat. Western, here we go. I would say I carried the team. Western carried the team.
I mean, it's a strong opinion. It's a strong opinion. Yeah. All I want to say about the Albanian Fishermen is that I think they had the most decisive wins of any set in the brackets. They won both of their games really decisively. They've got two kind of similarly ranked players, which I think is really ideal for this tournament. And yeah, I think they're one of the favourites for this. They are playing you guys though.
So you think the Albanians will beat the Stonecutters when they play then? Because that game hasn't been casted yet. So what? Your money is on 2-0 or 2-1? Did you say then?
Well, I would say it's difficult to say 2-0 in this, right? Because you've got to win on a map that the other team have deliberately prepared for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would only guess a 2-1, unless you've not practiced at all, in which case maybe a 2-0. But I think everyone's done a bit of practicing.
Yeah. Okay. And so you think the Albanians will beat the Stonecutters then? So that would be the Albanians versus the Cheedle Brothers. Well, that would be an exciting game, that's for sure. So, all right, whatever, 2 boys, 1 cup. Then that's the one we literally just casted. Great game, absolutely phenomenal game, and really anyone's game. Anything else you wanted to add to that one before we move on to?
I mean, all I want to say is that you don't want to be playing either of those teams. In the losers bracket, you got to say if you come up against the
2 boys, 1 cup
in their cup,
you're gonna have an hard game.
You're gonna have a hard game.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of these games being casted, right? You can go and watch the game, watch other teams that you might potentially face, and get some tactics. And I'd be lying if I didn't say I was watching K1 and Amesy very closely in that game, just in case if we meet them. All right, Maxi, Smile, and then less than 3. So Maxi, Smile, that's Max Power and Smiley, 2 very strong players. Or Max Power, I think Mark Landers, isn't it? Very strong players indeed. Lost 2-1 against less than 3.
Yeah, I think we all know that Smiley's a bit of a boomer. She likes her late game and she's very, very good at it. But the time to get to her is the early game, and I think they definitely focused on that during the game.
Yep.
But the thing is, if her and Max can develop a tactic where they can both make it to the late game and both use their sort of advantage that they'll have in the late game, then
there's some strong contenders.
I think they can beat anyone.
Yeah,
exactly. Another really strong team.
Yeah. So wouldn't this be an interesting matchup then? And that's Maxi Smile versus 2 boys, 1 cup.
Ooh.
In the losers bracket. I mean, that would definitely be an interesting matchup, right?
Definitely, and you've got 2 kind of contrasting styles. I think Dave and Alpha's strong point is their early game. I think they massed their armies in Feudal Age really well, especially in that second game today. I thought their defense was great against K1. They obviously learned a lot from their first game. Even in the third game where Dave didn't do too much damage, I actually thought Dog's aggression in early Castle and Feudal was really, really good. And will Smiley and Maxi be able to hold on before their late game advantage comes into play? I don't know, but it will be really interesting.
Yeah. And letting you into a little secret now then, I just had a little quick look at the losers round 1, and I won't scroll down on the Twitch screen just yet because I don't want to reveal the score for Albanian Villager and the Cutters, but Maxi Smile is facing 2 Boys 1 Cup.
Ooh.
I would love to cast that game.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
That will be an interesting game. Okay, cool. All right, so try to take over the world then against Gods of War, 2-1 to Gods of War. Did you see that game?
Yeah, I did. I think it was a hard one.
Try to take over Holy Sheep and Wimpsley. Versus Zeus and the Rev, the legend, the one and only.
Before we went into the game, I think Wimpsley was one of the lowest ranked players, and I think when I was speaking to Rev before the game, they were saying, "Oh, we'll just ignore him and we'll go to the higher player instead." But when I was watching Wimpsley, he's actually one of the most improved players on the channel, and they couldn't ignore him, and actually came down to a 2-1 win for the is it the Gods of War?
Yeah,
Gods of War.
Yeah,
but I still I can't help but feel that again, as 2 really strong teams, I got to give Rev a lot of credit and Jesus a lot of credit as well, because despite underestimating the other team,
strong players.
Yeah, they realised their mistake in the 3rd game and they played it really well. So
they managed to put it back. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. And you know what? It's funny, isn't it? Talking about all these individual teams, when you actually break the teams down and look at the individual players in the team, you actually realise that wow, they're all really strong teams.
Yeah, exactly. There's not one team in this tournament where I'm like, they've got no chance, or they're obviously going to win it. It's all been balanced really well.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And I think that's thanks to Lockie, for doing the seeds. So that was really good. All right, cool. So Ohio Oni-chan versus Bryony then. Wow, 2-0 thrashing.
Yeah, I gotta say it. It's.
Did you see it? Did you watch that one?
It was
Weber and Mr. Trunk of Ohio.
And that was versus Loki and
Metaking.
Yeah, I will say that team, Ohio, they were. Unfortunately, my favorite team has now gone into the losers bracket, but these guys were my second favorites. So you've got Weber, and who was the other player? Sorry,
Mr. Trunk.
Mr. Trunk, and they're both kind of 1200 rated players, which is kind of ideally what you want. And they both just focused on Loki, and they made it really hard work for him in every single game that they played against him. And if they can continue that tactic against any of the other players, I think they do very well. But what I'd like to see is them play someone like Dave and Alpha, where they're both kind of similarly matched players. I think they're going to go very far.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Good stuff. All right, well, it's all to go for then, isn't it, for the quarterfinals? The Stonecutters and Albanian Villager. Stay tuned. Just a quick one. If you're not following the channel, please do hit that follow button. It is free after all. Doesn't cost a penny. Just helps the channel get up there and doing the goals that we've set out to do would be awesome. Thanks for watching. Sulla, thanks for jumping on and casting with me. That was fantastic. And yeah, I'll see you around.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Oh, man.